I had $20, 4 nights of accommodation, and I was living in a tent. I was about to run out of money, so I thought, okay, I'll ask my mum for money. Pretty shameful. I was embarrassed, so I put it all down in writing. I was like, if I work out actually what I want from life, I had no idea at that time. I was like, if I put it down all on paper, I have a strategic way on how I'm going to achieve it, she'll give me money, and I won't feel bad about it. So I send it away, and she says, this is hard for me to say, Ryan, but the answer is no. This is fucked. But I realized on that piece of paper that I want to help people live fulfilling lives. But I didn't know how to do it. I was shy, I was fearful of talking to people, and I had no money. And step 1 was to do sales. Because that's a good way to face your fear. If you're petrified of people, if you do commission-based sales, you have no choice but to sell, otherwise you're fucked. So I paid $2 for a tie, walk in, somehow managed to get the interview, and then I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I've got to stop these people in the street. I'm fucking petrified, handshaking, writing down, thinking, oh, I don't want to start watching them. And then eventually they say, okay, your turn. So I see this old guy walking along, and he's carrying shopping bags. And they tell me, you got to build a relationship, build rapport. So, okay. So I got to shake his hand, but because I'm stressed out, I don't know what to do, so I shake his thumb. And he looks at me, he's, what are you doing? I said, trying to build a relationship. So it didn't start strong. And then eventually I just kept slaving away at it. I was still petrified. I'd still cry because it was so scary and overwhelming. But then eventually I started to piece it together. And moving my way up and starting to teach people. And then I had looking after a team of 15 and teaching leaders to lead and then raise millions of dollars. And then it all started to make sense. I was like, okay, I kind of get this, but I still wasn't happy. And I realized talking to people, I spent a few thousand hours with people over the age of 65 and asked them what's important about life and why. They said independence, purpose, and connection. And independence, money was an important component of that, and health, because they didn't want to burden other people. So I needed to understand money. So I had a bit of extra money, and I started putting it into events. I thought if I could market these events out of my pocket called Meaningful Money Making for Millennials, they can learn, I can learn, and I'll build a relationship with an expert because they want access to the audience. So somehow pulled together an ad campaign, and the 80 people registered. But it was a few days away and I didn't have a speaker. I was like, oh. And my friend said, well, why don't you go out there and door knock? Why don't you just ask businesses? First one says no. Second one says no. Third one says, we help people that retire. What's that got to do with millennials? You can take a seat if you want, but the boss is probably not going to be interested. I was like, fuck it. I'll just sit here. Just see what happens. So wait, Greg Moore walks in. Somehow agrees to do it. He does the talk, and in the talk he says, life's too short not to enjoy good wine. So I was like, all right, I'll buy him a bottle of wine to say thank you. Then he pulls me in the office a few weeks later and says, have you ever thought about working in this industry? I could mentor and support you and pay for your studies. So I started doing that, but then it was in conflict with the people that I was working with. They said, you have a choice. You can either leave, you can either cut him as a mentor, or you can leave. So I was like, I'll go for it. So I started working as a financial advisor. No idea what I was doing. Well, I sort of got taught what I should do and only follow what they taught me, but I had no idea on how I was going to get clients. Apparently you're meant to befriend lawyers and accountants and beg them for money, or clients, and that's how they were usually done. That's how he built his business over the last 3 decades. He didn't beg, he built relationships. But I was like, I can't do that. I'm young, it's not my talent, I don't want to talk about law and accounting, so why don't I go into social media? And I spent thousands of dollars at this marketing agency, and nothing happened. I got one lead and they didn't even get qualified. I was like, fuck, there's got to be a way. So I started making content. I didn't understand it. I didn't know how to video edit. I didn't know how to communicate on camera. I didn't understand it. And I started a podcast because, if I do a podcast, then I can record it and I don't have to sit in front of a video camera looking like an idiot having 20 different takes trying to work it out. So I sit in a podcast, and then the 70 pieces of content kept making it, but it wouldn't work because I was posting in the wrong place. And I realized if I don't have a marketing budget, the only way that I'm going to get as much attention as I can for a cost-effective marketing strategy is I need to make good creative in the places that matter. And at that time it was TikTok, and at that time it was podcasts. Why they matter is because your competition wasn't there. So then I could put it out there. One of the first advisors in the country to actually go onto TikTok, get so much judgment, and then nothing happened for 2 years. Boss was saying marketing doesn't work in financial advisory. People were saying, why are you on there? My client's on there. It's a waste of time. And then the results just didn't happen. For 2 years. And the fact he didn't fire me is remarkable. And then the phone started to ring. And it all started to make sense. Where if I put the right content in the right place and the right people call. Just a shitty website, they found a way, they searched my name, they called me, and then they'll become clients and just keep happening over and over again. So I thought it's time for stage 3. I understand myself and how to influence others. I understand how to help people live fulfilling lives financially. Now I need to reach as many people as humanly possible, so I started Total Media, where I can share everything I've learned and help companies execute in marketing so they don't have to go through all the struggles that I did, but it also teaches me to build the team that's going to enable me to reach as many people as possible to help them live fulfilling lives. And then I can start stage 4, which I'll tell you about in the future. That sounds sus. Basically, I'm just going to help create a product that's scalable that can help people with their psychological health. But right now, I need to help exceptional leaders make exceptional content and not have to worry about the phone ringing or if money's going to come in. Total Media.